Hello everyone, we are 10 teams and our project is Galaxy SOHO. First, let's review what we published last week. Last week, we introduced the geotechnical foundation, design and analysis of the construction foundation of Beijing Galaxy SOHO Center. Next is of context this week. This week, we will introduce the structure of Galaxy SOHO Center. 1. Structural conceptual design. 2. Floor cover and floor slab. 3. Peripheral oblique columns. 4. Single-story stair structure. 5. Starting plans. The four high-rise buildings are connected with one-piece connection on floors 3, 4, 6, 7, 14, 14, and 15. The span of conjoined border is about 20 or 14 meters, and the steel construction systems adopted for the larger span conjoined board. According to the layout of the building, each high-rise building contains two vertical traffic courses in the north and the south. The reinforced concrete buildings followed by another and the equipment towards a combined with the frame beams and the column to for assessment or structure system. The beam slab foundation is adopted, and the design level of foundation is class A according to the distribution characteristics of the superstructure load. Thick slab foundation is adopted in the Torah, and the beam slab foundation is adopted in the paradigm with relatively small load.
The project is a complex multi-tower conjoined structure with a large chassis. The four-tower reinforcement conjoined chimney has a huge amount of calculation, and the overall torsion is not easy to control. According to the distribution of bridges and podiums, the above-ground structure is divided into two double-tower units. This is the conclusion model of the East structural SATWE. Tower 1 and Tower 4 on the east side are connected by podium below Layer 8.
This is the calculation model of SATWE on the west side. Tower 2 and Tower 3 on the west side are connected by a podium and a canjoy boarding below layer 5 and below layer 14 as a load calculation unit. The underground structure is used as a calculation unit without permanent settlement joists. The connected boarding in the computing unit adopt a fixed connection method at both ends, and the connecting bridge between the computing unit adopt a fixed hinge support on the east side and a sliding hinge support on the west side. In the design, the connecting bridge were established on a simplified four-tower ground model. For calculation, and bearing with action. Force was applied as a load to the it, and with structural elements respectively to flow current and flow state. This is a design trial of a one-way second-stream beam flow. On the one hand, two secondary beams are arranged along the long duration to reduce the distance of the float and the float lock, and transmit a lock part of the float lock to the short. The long beam will be reduced. Loading a rate and the beam height can be appropriately reduced. On the other hand, a variable closed section form is adopted for the swap beam that base a long lobe, and the beam height is reduced by 1/3 in the middle of the span for the passage of electromechanical fractional pipes. The outfilling area of the structure, the picture and the fleet of the ancient art, concrete, cantilever paths. In the design, there are no permanent structural joints except for the sliding. In support of the connecting bridge, the method of controlling the pouring draw after concentration of adopted to reduce the after factor of temperature stress on the structure. There is low pressure in the flow slab that is greatly affected by temperature trap. Bonded prostate tendons, a high strength, low relaxation, steel strand with a diameter of 15 mm is used as the pre-chest tendon, and the pre-chest is applied by post-tensioning. 3. Pre-follow a big current by appropriately shifting the straight column supporting the outer cantilever beam and slab, using the layer as the inflection point along the elevation. Segmented polylines are used to fit the shape of the wall structure of the building, making it an arc from the bottom to the top. It is basically consistent with these outer contours, which makes the layout of the building simple and the structure transmission was clear. In terms of structure, because the actual pressure line of the inclined current dot locks coincides with this axis, the vertical force along the fault length of the inclined current will not only bear the axial pressure, but also that shear force. Therefore, the strap of the outer inclining column are identified along the fault length to improve shift resistance, the inclination, angle, and axial compression ratio of the pre-flow oblique current at the lower floors are relatively large, which had a significant effect on the tensile force of the brand beam. Single-layer steel structure of the atrium roof. The four towers are equipped with the lighting roof on the top of the commercial tomb. The daylighting roof at the top of floor 3 divides the atrium into two parts, indoor and outdoor. The lower part, a 4-story commercial atrium, the upper part is doors. A hollow walls structure is formed under the action of vertical force and temperature load. The single-layer steel verticality shell has a greater stress on the building concrete structure. Construction requirement less work. The bottom of the shell is about a meter above the floor. The steel structure column foot that is too high cannot provide sufficient rigidity. This is a necessary tool. A 800 mm height concrete pier from the floor at a support. This is the drawing of the reticulated concrete bearing. The elevation of the support not only provides sufficient rigidity but also causes a horizontal pressure of the reticulated load to produce a reverse bending moment on the cantilever structure. Cause the leg of the reticulated slope are denser and the embedded parts are larger inside. It is concrete put under the column foot is collected tool on a 600 mm high circular reverse beam. This is integrated with the normal 300 multiplied by 600 side beam. In the future, we will introduce that construction structure, construction processor, construction difficulty, and green building. Final. Thank you.